Hello guys, welcome to my channel. As you all know, this is the second video of our workshop, and for those who don't know, this is the pattern designing workshop, and I have created a playlist of this workshop on my channel's playlist, so you can go and check it out. So today's video is the second part of the introduction. I have already explained you on how to download and install this software and also how to create a new workspace in my first video, which was the part 1 of this introduction. If you haven't watched that video, then please go and watch it first. So today we will continue the introduction part. So we will see the tools and some more options of this software. So in the last video we just saw how to create a new workspace, and today let's see this side. So all of these icons which you can see on the left hand side are the tools. Now again, we are only going to use 5 or 6 of them, so I am only going to explain those. So the first one is this is the move tool. So you can use this tool to move the object. For example, if you have created a design and now if you want to change its position, so simply select move tool and then you can easily move the object. Now comes the brush tool. So as the name says it all, you can use this brush tool to draw, and also you can change the brush style. For that you can come towards the right hand side and select this option. If this option is not turned on, simply go to Windows and then select brush presets. This option will get turned on. So here you can see there are a bunch of different brush styles, so you can select the style from here. Now if you want to increase or decrease the brush size, just press this bracket to increase the size and this bracket to decrease the size. And you can also change the colors from here. Just pick the color you need and press OK, and the brush will pick that color. Next is our eraser tool. You can use this tool for erasing. Next is the paint bucket tool. Using this tool you can fill in the colors. Again, you can change the color from here. Select the color, press OK and fill in the color. Next is our pen tool. Now this tool is a bit tricky to use, but if you practice you can easily use this. If you want to design a random pattern, you can use this tool. For using this tool, press left mouse button and as you click it will create a starting point. Now depending upon your design, you can create the second point by pressing the left mouse button, but as you saw it created a straight line, but I want this line to be curved. For that, first let me undo this step. Now while creating the second point, I will press and hold the left button on the mouse and I will move the mouse a little. Remember here, while moving you have to keep the mouse button pressed, and after you get the curve, just release the button. So here the curve is created. Now if you see carefully, you can notice that on the second point there is a line created. Actually it's not a line, it's the angle guide line. Now if you want to create another curve, you have to cut off this guideline. For doing so, just bring the arrow at the center point and then press and hold the Alt key on the keyboard and just left click once and the line will be cut. Now again, for creating the third point, press and hold the left button and move the mouse accordingly to your design requirements and release the mouse button and the curve will be created. Now next is our text tool. You can use this to write text. Also here on the top side you can get an option to change the fonts. From here you can change the size of the font, and from here you can change the color of the font. Next is our geometric shapes tool. By pressing the right click on mouse, you get all of these tools for geometric shapes. like rectangle tool, rounded rectangle tool, and so on. I will explain this in the next video, which is about designing patterns using geometric shapes. Okay, now the last one is this color selecting option. So from here you can select the colors. So this was all about the left hand side. Now let's see the right hand side. So the first one is the color and swatches. So you can select the colors from here as well. And in the swatches you can get different shades of all the colors. Next is the adjustment and styles. This one is mostly used in photo editing, so we will skip this for now. Next, the most important is the layers. In Photoshop we have to work on layers. Now what is a layer? So as the name says, it creates a layer on one above the other. So as I said, in Photoshop we have to work on layers. That means before starting the work we have to create a layer. For now there is only one layer, which is our actual workspace. So we always have to leave it as it is. We have to create a new layer. For creating a new layer we have an option here at the bottom. So just press on it and the new layer will be created. Now if you see carefully, the layer has these gray and white cubes. It means that the layer is transparent. So whatever you draw in this layer will have a transparent background. And here is a small eye icon. It is used for hiding the layer. So if you turn it off, the layer will get invisible. And to make the layer visible, just turn the eye icon on. Now remember that while designing you have to design each object on different layer, because if you design everything on one layer, that will create a problem later. Let me show you an example. I have created a layer and using a brush tool I am making a flower of red color. Now I am going to create another flower of blue color on the same layer. Now the problem if you design everything on one layer is that if you want to make changes, like say for example, if I want to move this blue flower, so by using the move tool, I am trying to move the flower, but as you can see, along with the blue flower, the red flower is also moving. So this problem occurs. So it's always recommendable to use different layers for different objects. For example, first I am deleting this layer by pressing delete key and then creating a new layer from here. And now I will draw the red flower in this layer using brush tool like this. And you can also rename this layer by double clicking on it. Now for the blue flower I am going to take a new layer and then drawing the flower, and I will rename this layer as blue flower. So now I can easily make changes by using the move tool. I can now move the blue flower, but while moving, make sure that the right layer is selected. If you want to move red flower, select a red flower layer and then move it. So using this method you can create multiple layers for multiple objects, as I am doing here. For yellow flower, now while designing, when you have created multiple layers, it gets confusing. So you can create groups of layers. For that, here at the bottom there is an option to create a group. So select it and the group will be created. So you can now put the layers in that group. For example, I want the red and the yellow flower layer to be in one group. So I will select both the layers. For selecting, press and hold on Ctrl key and then select the layers. and drag them in the group. So both the layers are now in that group. So you can also rename this group. Now similarly, I will create another group and I will drag these two layers, the blue and the green one, in this group, and I will rename this group as well. So now if you want to move the flowers, you can easily select the group and all the objects in that particular group will be moved. So this is how you can use Photoshop for designing. In the next video, we will see how to design patterns using geometric shapes. You can watch that video. It is already uploaded on my channel, and all the videos of the pattern designing workshop are in the playlist, so go and check it out.